What is happening, everybody? I hope you've had a good...
Back in like 2005, something like that.
I think my first con was so good. It's Friday Junior.
It's Friday Junior, it's podcast day, it's payday.
And if you come out doing a like, doesn't matter how you feel about the situation.
My name is Raff, and always before we start the podcast, because we just want to talk about it. We want to talk about music and just share those stories and experience. This is my co-host, Carl, a.k.a. the BeerBuddy. He is hailing you.
Sort of weird era where they're sort of right in that post-grunge.
Look, you're fighting the good fight in today's world. My war was fought 40 years ago, really.
We are the two dudes who talk music, and we are here. Hey, I'm too quick on that air horn button, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, that is amazing. I love it. Your second of it, dude. Fantastic.
How you doing, everybody? I am the Reverend Raff. This here is the BeerBuddy Kyle. We are the two dudes who talk music, and welcome to the Two Dudes Talk Music weekly podcast channel. It has been a very long road, my friend.
How many interviews have we done?
Let me count.
15?
Hang on. Let me count. I got the book.
Oh, you got the book. I reckon it's been about, off the top of my head, I think it'd be nearly half.
So this will be interview number 13.
I was close.
13.
I was close. So almost half. Look,
So
dude.
we have had almost half the bands that are going to be playing at Metal to the Max Festival this weekend. And that is right. At the time you are watching this episode, it will be this weekend. As this episode goes to air, I have arrived in Sydney and will be chilling like a villain with Carl at his place. We've probably posted a photo already by this point.
Yeah, 100%.
We will be doing a last minute check on all of the gear, packing the car, getting everything ready to hit the road to make our way out to Metal to the Max.
Uh-huh.
If you
I can't wait.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. If you haven't seen us before, first of all, welcome.
Welcome.
Second of all, you might be wondering, what is Metal to the Max and why are we making such a big deal about it? So the answer to that question is that Metal to the Max is a heavy metal festival taking place across 2 days out at the Mad Max 2 compound near Broken Hill in New South Wales, Australia. It is, as I said, at the Mad Max 2 compound. They have very, very graciously allowed us to use, well, not us, but Lead Heavy Promotions. They have allowed Lead Heavy Promotions to use the site for this glorious Moonshot Heavy Metal Festival that is going to be just a mix of so many different things. It's going to be fire dances. There's going to be food trucks. There's going to be heavy metal all day, every day for the Saturday and the Sunday of the October long weekend. It's going to be BYO, so you can bring whatever, your booze and everything. Just please be responsible about it.
Yes, of course.
It is all ages, so there is going to be kids there. Please ensure you are behaving appropriately. We don't want anyone running around copping, ending up on any registers of any kind.
Or you just don't want to get laid out and being a silly in front of children and just carrying on.
And, make sure we're all being respectful of the site. And look, maybe you are listening to this as you're making your way out to the festival. This would be some really great road trip listening. It's going to kill a bit of time. So you've got a long drive ahead of you.
Actually, if you're going from Sydney, you can probably nearly get every single episode, every single...
There you go. It's all in a playlist. So if you have not listened to most of these, first of all good. You got plenty to listen to on your road trip. Second of all, drive safe. Be careful as you are making your way out there. Please, if you haven't quite left yet or if you're still near civilization, make sure you've got your fire extinguisher, your first aid kit, your puncture kit, extra coolant, extra water. You got food. You got everything that you're going to need because it's going to be a hell of a drive. Please drive carefully. Those country roads are brutal on tires. So just drive safe. Let's get there safe.
Drive accordingly. You're not there to break land speed records. You're there to get there safely. All right?
And it's double demerits.
Yeah.
So that's that incentive to drive safely as well. So there's 1,000 reasons to drive safely. No reason to drive like a dickhead. So please just be careful. Take care of yourselves on the trip out to Metal to the Max. And look, we are just going to dive right into this one. We've interviewed bands from all across Australia for this. We've interviewed bands from all across the lineup for this, from the opening band on the first day through to both headliners.
The organizer. This is everything, and we are capping it off with a band that is kind of a unique sound. They're kind of like a dark thrash kind of vibe. So we cannot wait to get into chatting with these guys. We're going to be diving into this chat with Dark Orion right now. You take care of yourselves, and we will see you guys at Metal to the Max. Let's get to it. Thank you very, very much to Tyler and Dalton from Dark Orion for joining us today. We appreciate you, boys. How's your weekend been?
It's been a long one for me, but it's been pretty great.
It's good.
Is there anything with a sat or a son? Yeah, it's better than being at work.
Definitely. So for those who may not be familiar with Dark Orion, what is the elevator pitch?
Oh, the elevator pitch. Soil work, but without the talent, and trivium, but without the charisma.
Ooh.
Oh, damn. Okay, I like that.
Great bands, but you just sort of like punch yourselves during it.
I think without the talent's a little bit harsh, but
yeah, far out.
But no, you guys bring you got a good vibe going. The couple of songs you got out, I'm digging. So I'm really, really keen to catch you guys out at the show. So I believe from the little sort of blurb that we got, if we just dive into a bit of a history of the band there, you guys sort of came together basically during the pandemic. Is that right?
Yeah, we did. Right in the middle of, I got a bit of a gap in the first lockdown or something. So we were together for about 12 months, and I think we managed to all get in a room together maybe 3 times.
Jesus.
Wow.
That's a
pain in the ass.
That's rough.
It was, it was a bit of a hell, especially, everything was going a little bit sideways. We didn't really know where we were going with life generally at that point. And it was, at least for me, it was playing a little bit of metal, and it was a bit of an outlet for me. It was a bit of a direction. I really frustrated. We had to go these really long stretches of just not being able to do anywhere, not being able to get anything done. So we're in that really early stage where, without being in the room together, we couldn't even do much.
Okay. So did you guys take advantage of like writing stuff and sending things to each other, or it was just kind of not really everyone's equipped to do that?
We started off with actually playing covers. Like we were like a cover band basically at the start. Like a bunch of grown-ass men with different music tastes. Like one of us is like a new metal, one's a thrash metal, one's a fucking death metal, one's a black metal. So it was like we had like 10 different covers, but it was like I think we were playing like Billy Idol at some point. Like it was a mess.
Man, I was going to say, I don't know if I actually said this to Raff, but I thought this is going to be a melting pot of 5 dudes that listen to completely different shit because it shines through on the music.
Yeah.
It's great.
Trying to not be those guys like, we don't have a sound, that's the sound. Trying to find anything that ties 5 different things together is a lot of work.
Definitely. I mean, I guess it's about, you want to find where that overlap exists for you guys, and sort of that's obviously going to be the core of it, I guess, and then just different songs are going to have little elements of all different things, right?
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And we're always, whenever I'm writing or anything like that, I sort of try to think through how is this going to appear to the full other guys that have got to play it as well as do I like it.
Okay. So how, given that it was a time when people couldn't go anywhere, do anything, how did you guys
sort of connect with one another? How did you guys kind of started talking about doing something? How did that sort of all come together during that time?
Dalton was there. Dalton was there before me. He's the architect of things. He might be able to speak on that better than I can.
It started with Chase and I. So he's a lead on the rhythm guitarist, and they both started in my shed, basically playing Metallica load and reload from start to finish.
Nice.
That's how the band started.
That's a good choice. That is a good choice right there. I know they cop hate. I know they cop a lot of hate from a certain sect of the fan base, but I'll always have a soft spot.
Half the fan base just yelled at the screen, and the other half just went, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
So it started out with me and him just playing in the shed like once a week, and we sort of had a few beers and played. Then we invited a drummer along, and then I put the feelers out on Facebook, and Tyler messaged me. We wanted to do vocals and stuff, because I tried to do vocals and sing at the same time, and I'm not that talented. So lucky Tyler came across, and I don't think he'd ever actually sung much before. He played bass in a band years and years ago, so it was relatively new for him too, I'm pretty sure.
I would say it was probably great for me that we had all those lockdowns early on, because I think the first time I came in and I gave it a go on the mic, you guys walked down and went, "Oh my God, what the fuck is he doing?" And then it was 6 months before you saw me again. So I had 6 months to kind of figure out how to do it. And I went, maybe it's not that bad. And then I got another 3 months. So I got a good 9 months into actually learn how to play the instrument.
Working those vocal exercises.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I've got to say, it's good work. Practice obviously done very, very, very well. Like, because fucking awesome.
I mean, and it's it's interesting the way, like you can tell through the music that you are, like, vocally you're challenging yourself. You know what I mean? Like I can hear that coming through in there, which is, which I think is always important. I don't think that, I think if you're making music with a group of other people, you always want to have something that you're striving for, something that you're, an element of it that is challenging you to do better, because that's how we get better, right? I'm a very firm believer in the concept of, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room, right? And I transpose that.
Yeah.
I transpose that across to music as well. Like, I never want to feel like I am the most talented person in a band, because genuinely, if I'm the most talented person in a band, we're in fucking trouble. Like, I don't know how else to put it.
I've probably said that about 4 times over the last 3 months. So.
Like,
Guys, you have to carry me.
I'm sure. Yeah. Look, and don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's someone that I've played in a band with who's heard me say that and is like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" But no, I firmly believe it. Like, I always want to be on the lookout for people for being involved in a project that is going to, allow me to put everything that I've learnt already to use, but still be something new, something different, something a bit challenging, and I think most musicians want to find something like that. They want to find something that's going to challenge themselves, unless they're like the particularly egotistical type that have their head up their ass and that only want to surround themselves with people they view as less talented because it makes them feel better about themselves. That's not the kind of person I'm talking about here. Like, that's a fucking, that's. But I'm talking about like real musicians that want to challenge themselves.
Right before he left Queen.
But like it's awesome that you're sometimes just the complete chance of the way things pan out, right? Like you say, if there'd not been those limitations in place and the lockdowns on and off and everything, like, you may have not ended up being a part of the band. It may have gone a different direction, and that serendipitous that time allowed you to an opportunity to work at it and to improve it. And then it's, come to a place now where you guys are making some really, really interesting stuff. The vibe is, it's got like this, it's like a dark sort of, it's like traditional metal in a lot of ways, but also got like this dark element to it that is just really, really cool and unique. And yeah, is it like, are you guys, there's a couple of songs out there that you've put out already. You're working on like an EP or an album or something to come out soon? Like, what's the plan there?
We're hitting the studio for a few days in January. We're headed off. We're all in Mildura, so we're going to head down to Melbourne for a few days. We're going to, we've got about 10 songs written. There's probably 5 I think will make the cut, which includes the 2 that are already out there, but we'll record them in a way that I'm happy with, hopefully. There's an overall theme to it. It'll have a bit of a little bit of a dark magic about it, I hope, and we're really looking forward to seeing how it turns out.
Okay, man. Cool. Where are you guys recording that? You said what
at
studio?
The moment, yeah, we're recording that at what's his name? I forgot the name of the studio. We're recording with Dan Presland.
January. Oh,
cool. So that's coming next year then.
So January. So hopefully by March, February, we'll be starting to hear a lot more noise.
That's the hope. That's the plan. Unless it doesn't work out the way I want it to, in which case forget that I said anything and it'll just fade nothingness.
Nah, you'll get it done. Get it done. Look,
we're feeling pretty good about it.
If you got 10 and you got and you only want to put 5 on, it's just going to be the what makes the cut, and that's not a bad problem to have.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah, that's right. That's how it works.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious, like, because there's so many different elements in the stuff you guys have put out, already, in terms of the different directions the songs go in there. It's almost got, I don't know if a prog element is the right word I'm looking for, but like the way it kind of, stylistically it tends to sort of shift vibes as it goes through the song. Dalton, can you shed any light on like the writing process that you guys go through and how you kind of landing on this stuff that's, seems to switch the vibe up in the way that it does there?
I'm gonna throw Tyler under the bus because he is predominantly our writer, and he has written most of our stuff. Actually, I've only just started to write in the last probably 6 months, but like it takes me like a fucking month to write something, and then Tyler, he's like, "Hey guys, I wrote something like last night." It's like,
okay.
Is he some sort of psycho? I don't know. It's weird.
Just that left side of his brain's just always turned on and just going all the time.
I think Tyler got sick of everyone saying, "Oh, let's play this cover, let's play this cover." So he just started writing stuff. It was like, cool. We don't cover me anymore. Let's just play the stuff that Tyler wrote. But Tyler can shed more light on that.
Okay.
There's a little bit of that in it. I tend to get in moments where I just sort of get that stream of focus. I'll play around with something. I'll have a bit of a riff, or I'll have a hook or something. I'm like, I want that to develop, and then I can't get out of the chair until I've finished it. Ready to go.
Yeah, so I'll write a riff, and then like weeks later I'll add another riff to it, and then weeks later I don't do it all in one go.
It needs time to stew, man. It just needs time to stew. That's all it is.
Inspiration finds people in different ways, man.
But I've got to record myself with doing the riff. So I've got like fucking 70 videos on my phone of just me playing a riff. My wife's looking at my videos. She's like, what is this? I'm like, this is just my memory bank, so I don't forget the riffs.
Mate, utilise it. It's what it's there for. Especially now that they can film in 4K, you can get like right in there close and figure out every note that you exactly played.
Yeah, I can zoom right in my hairline and see how good it was like a year ago.
No, don't
You
do
can
that.
see those gains you're getting, man. All those
Yeah.
the guns you're working on there, man. Jesus, give us the double buys.
Yeah, look at the
look
shape.
at
Oh,
that.
the desert's going to be
don't
going
encourage
mental.
him.
No, encourage it.
I'll always encourage a flex. I'll always
health.
encourage a flex.
It's good health. Can't encourage it while I'm sitting here
That's
pumping my
fun.
vape.
I hope you all have a riff in one of your songs that's just like open chugging on the zero so he can be flexing with his other arm.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you know.
That's all this guy right is just chug. That's it. Nothing to it all, just chug.
Man, is that guitar coming out of the desert?
That Kita hasn't made its way into a song just yet. But we might get there.
Oh, that's the mission then.
Yeah,
That's the mission. Do like a
I was hoping
like
you
a
had
dark-
a flamethrower set already to hook up to it.
do like a dark magic, like space epic fucking thing, and just find a way to weave it in there.
We'll cram
Just
it in. Maybe we'll
you know
get
what you
the,
could do? You could just do it like just one song, just pull it out, play the opening chord to it, and then just put it away. Just for the whole sake of pulling it out. It's like, why do you use the guitar? It's like, well, I have one. I can't really use it all the time, so now I get to use it.
Just like Rush or something. You just find that.
carry it around.
Yeah. Don't play it at all. Just carry.
No context.
Sound check it and everything, but you're just wearing it the whole time and you don't play it.
That would be the most uncomfortable.
Chekhov's guitar.
Or you just do like a Rush thing where you just like at the start of the set and then that's it.
Far out. So man, this is a crazy birth child. Considering you started off playing loaded, like doing loaded and reloaded in your garage to this, like it's such. Like, because I've just got it going in the background in my headphones just for the sake of it, and it just goes in so many different ways. How is it playing it live? Do you guys use like in-ears and click tracks and stuff like that, or is this just like are you guys just built different and just that good?
No click tracks yet. I think Tyler's got some organised, but we do use in-ears.
Yeah, nice.
It's the click
Sort
track
of trying
thing
to get everyone organised to play to click tracks and that sort of thing live. It's a level of organisation and preparation that we don't quite have. But
well, look, you got the IEMs, which is half the thing. Like, right, you got an IEM set up that's like halfway there. It's relatively cheap to have a rudimentary IEM set up these days. So it's not, I really think it's the kind of thing that a lot of bands, if you can afford to do it, it's a good move. It helps to, minimize the amount of sound, especially if you don't need like vocals coming through the foldback or anything. Like it's a lot simpler on the sound guy in that regard. And it just helps to ensure like a consistent mix in your ears so everyone can hear what's going on. It's just because there's so many times, and we've all been at those shows where some guitarist can't hear what the bass player's doing, or the singer can't hear what anyone's doing, and it becomes really difficult to. You can fight through it and you can work through it, but it can become a bit of a mess very easily.
But shit, that was our first couple of shows. We didn't use in-ears, and it was difficult because, like you said, if you get lost, it's very, very hard to get back on track. Especially if if a drummer loses his shit, then that's. I usually follow what drummer does. If he gets off track, then off track, then everyone else is off track. So it's sort of
Yep. Drummers are super.
Drummer's the most important in the band. Sorry, Tyler, but he is.
No, that.
And our drummer's a better guitarist than I am, so he's not a freak. Freak of nature.
Oh man, those special musicians, I call them fucking jerks. Those multi-talented musicians that can just go, oh yeah, I can do that. Yeah. I love you people. You are the backbone of the music industry, but you are fucking jerks.
Yeah, that's a drummer. He's a better guitarist.
That's our rhythm section generally. Bass player that can out shred all of us.
Oh,
nice.
Our bassist is an amazing guitarist too. Yeah, I forgot that.
Yeah.
I can't put it back on my mind, so I don't feel so sure at myself. That's okay.
Mate, you know what? At the end of the day, it's just going to make you work harder, and you learn off those people.
You do, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like this, like yeah, or you get the best. You get the best of everything because you get to learn everything off them.
Yeah,
but we're so like, it's gonna sound mushy, but we're all really close, and we're very, very like we always give each other positive, like that positive feedback all the time. There's also a bit of negative, but like we're always pushing each other. We're always pushing each other to do like better and stuff. Like Tyler goes, I can't reach that note. It's like, oh, you can. Like it's always that positive reinforcement.
Yeah,
good man.
And you know, and you got to remember, it's not negative feedback. It's not negative reinforcement. It's constructive feedback.
Yep.
That's the corporate term, I believe.
Yeah.
But you know, no, I get it. It's you know, and that's the kind of thing, right? Like you can, you know, you don't need to be the best musician in a band as long as you are bringing what you can, when you can, and you are
serving the table.
You are doing what's needed of you is what's important, and that's the thing, right? Like, you know, you talk about like you look at some of the people that are out there doing stuff, and like, you know, I don't think any of the Sex Pistols were fucking spectacular musicians, right? But they were out there changing the game because they had the attitude, and they were, you know what I mean? Like they became, and you know, obviously what certain members have turned into now is like the very thing they would have spat in the face of back in the day. But that's a different discussion entirely. But you know, like those were people that, you know, they were just not particularly talented musicians, but they became the figureheads of a movement.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's about doing what you need to do for the music that you are making and filling your role in the group. And, you know, as I said, as long as you're doing what you need to do in the context of the group, that is the more important thing. Like, it's great to have, like, I would argue that most of the time, if you have a whole band where everyone is like a virtuoso, that's not gonna work.
It would be a shit show.
That's not gonna work, right? Like it's
or you just get polyphia.
Yeah. You get like occasionally.
That's my three things that I don't like. Actually, I've got that.
Occasionally it works, and you get like a Dream Theater or a Tesseract or a Polyphia or like something like that, right? But
you get I think you get Rust in Peace is the best possible outcome of that.
Oh,
you get a point where just magic. Everyone is just as good as can be. But isn't doing too much.
But see, that's a different thing. That's what I was originally talking about. That's not where everyone's a virtuoso. That's where everyone is coming in and fulfilling their role that they need to and working together to the best of within their own abilities to create something really, really special. And that's what you get when, you know what I mean? Like, this is what I mean. Like, when I'm talking virtuosos, I'm literally talking like the people that run rings around literally everybody else. And I'm not trying to say, by putting it in this context, I'm not trying to say that, like, you know, people out there in bands like Megadeth are not great players, because they are. But there's a difference between being a great player and being of like one of the top like 0.1% of people on the instrument in the world. And being perfectly honest, most people out there in the music industry are not going to fit into that top 0.1% of that. It's just you know, like, you know, there's people at all different skill levels that can bring it. And, you know, like, so plenty of great albums have been made from people that are not at that level of music, because you don't need to be at that level. But this is what I mean. Like, you listen to the stuff that's made by those bands that we mentioned, and it's a lot of the time it's music for musicians. It's not music for the layperson.
No, that's it. Music for musicians.
Yeah. And there's, you know, while there's a place for that, if you're, you know, I think most musicians don't want to do that.
most musicians don't want to set out to make music for musicians. They want to set out to make music that's accessible to a broad range of people. And when I say accessible, I mean they can hear it, they can understand it, they can follow it and enjoy it without needing a deep, understanding of musical theory to get themselves there.
Animals as leaders. That's all I got to say. Like animals as leaders, man. Like they are probably. They're so good. But if you talk to any musician and you say animals as leaders, they're gonna. Yep, cool. Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. Tosin's the man. They are awesome. Like that. Cool. I go up to someone and I'm like, you ever heard of animals as leaders? They're going, oh, animals as leaders?
Yeah.
Animals. What?
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that movie.
If you have to explain to someone why your song is good, it's probably not really that good.
Yeah, it's a bit like comedy, If you have to explain to someone why the joke is good, it probably wasn't that funny.
So I got it.
Oh man, I'm just not feeling it. Oh, but listen to these triplets on the kick drum. Like,
no, but listen to what I'm not playing. It's just,
yeah. And that's it. Like, this is one of those things that, like, as a musician, there's so much stuff that we can listen to and appreciate on a certain level that people that aren't musicians just will never get. And it's not to say like we're better than them in that way at all. It's not what I'm saying in the slightest. Although I'm a bass player, so I kind of am. But like being real for it, like, it's but seriously, like it's when we talk about like the lay person versus the musician, it's not to suggest that like musicians are smarter or more intelligent or whatever, or better or anything like that. It's literally just to make that distinction between people who have that knowledge and who don't.
Yeah, and we just hear it different.
It's like same way as if someone works in cinema, they're going to understand a whole bunch of different stuff about movies that the lay person doesn't. Like, I don't understand a lot of shit about movies that someone, because when it comes to cinema and that kind of stuff, movies, I am a lay person. So that's what I mean. I just want to clarify, because I know some people, when you talk about this stuff, some people get this idea in their head that the term layperson is like a put down or an insult. And I'm like, please, I'm not trying to say that at all. It's literally just.
I don't understand why he used that zoom at that moment to create that space in that movie, like at that certain point in time, to create exactly what he wanted.
I just know that I got chills when it happened.
Yeah. That made me, ooh. A big explosion, yay.
And Alpha's creepy sort of chorus sounds like popcorn and stuff. Have you seen the guy making the sound effects for movies?
Yes.
Like guys like brushing paper like onto a microphone. So.
Yeah, that Foley work is incredible. It's
so good though.
Yeah, Foley work is a fucking literal magic, all on its own. It really, really is. I wish I could have even a fraction of the understanding of sound that those guys do. Like,
it was
that's
like, I remember
unreal.
seeing one sound of like, it was a sound effects, or like, sound effects person, and they needed to make some decapitation sound effect things. Like, who worked out that all you needed to do was punch a big bowl of pudding to get the sound that you wanted? Like, at what point did you accidentally hear someone punch a bowl of pudding and then be like, I remember that? Like,
or like breaking celery for like bones snapping and stuff like that. It's like how it's unreal.
Well, you just hear different.
I think like rain sounds was like soft drink bubbling into like glass.
Oh,
I saw it as gravel on a screen.
There's lots of different. Yeah, there's a few different ways to do stuff, and it's just anytime I see it being done, it really is. It's magic unto itself.
To be fair, I would have just assumed that they dried out some like cow bones or something like that, and just snapped them. Like, that just makes sense.
Yeah.
No, sorry, man. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. It's like, what's the gag on The Simpsons? Why are you painting those horses like cows? Because cows don't look like cows on film. You have to use horses.
What do you do if you want horses?
Yeah, you just tape a bunch of cows together.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, Amazing gags. And it's probably why I'm so fascinated with like using samples and sound effects in music. Like I'm a big fan of that. Is that something that you all are considering utilizing when you move to something like click tracks, having, you know, any kind of synth stuff going on behind what you're doing, or sound effects and samples throughout songs?
Yeah, we've got plans. We've got things in the
hell
works.
Yeah.
We're trying to build something.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
And we're all voicing like the same era as well too. Like you think about like Job for a Cowboy and all those old like deathcore sort of bands with, and they had all the samples, Only Affliction and stuff always had samples in them. So like I think it's obviously like inevitable that we'll use samples because they're just built into us, I reckon. You know what I mean?
I love it when bands use movie samples. One of the best ones was an Australian band. I can't remember what they were called, and I'll have to find the CD. I'll probably have it stashed away there somewhere, but it was my favourite line, and it just went into something so heavy afterwards. It was the Johnny Depp thing out of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and it's just like, just goes, "We can't stop here, man. This is backcountry," and then it just goes into this massive crunch out, and I'm just like, that right there, like just.
Even like Parkway's early stuff, they were using examples as well. I'm pretty sure I used an example from Pirates of the Caribbean, and I was like, just
yeah.
Why is the rub always gone?
It's a little. I love it though.
Ice Nine Kills have done it really well on the last couple of records as well.
Ice Nine Kills are crazy. Like the way those guys, the way they've woven like horror movie culture through their music to make it sort of this whole. It's really they're kind of just doing their own thing. That's this weird, you know, kind of rock metal hybrid with just so many horror pop culture references woven throughout it. It's amazing. They've really built a strong brand for themselves, and I dig that. Like, it's a smart move.
And they're so good. Yeah, it's so good. Look, they're so polished.
I don't know why now. I just got this weird
Matrix.
This weird thought in my head. Have you seen that the people AIing Arnold Schwarzenegger's voice over all the songs?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
I want to see any Kill Switch song done with that.
It's probably out there. It's probably out there.
I want to find it. I want it.
Now
you guys seen Kill Switch next week? Kill Switch and Iron Maiden, surely?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle's going to that one.
Yeah, I'm going to the Sydney show with my dad. So it's it's so awesome. The band that got him into metal, and a band that we've seen so many times before in the past. Like we love Kill Switch. I just can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so keen. I haven't seen Kill Switch in ages. Get to see Jesse again. I'm like, I'm so stoked. I'm stoked. I'm going to be fucking. Oh, we'll be so over the next fucking day.
I have some bad news, Kyle. Unfortunately, there's not any Arnold Schwarzenegger AI covers of Kill Switch Engage. But if anyone's watching and they know how to do that shit,
Holy Diver.
We'll do a reaction.
Holy Diver.
Holy Diver. We've been down too long in the midnight sea. You have to get to the chopper before me.
Holy Diver. Oh, yes.
No, we don't need to do it now. We've heard it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, fuck. People are going to be so mad at us for that.
Yeah, well, you can tell us all about it at the Metal to the Max show when you buy your tickets and come see these awesome people. And then you can yell at us for doing a shit in Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation.
Yeah, but you got to act quick, because if you are hearing this, if you are listening to this on the evening that it comes out, you got about 24 hours to get out to Broken Hill. So make your fucking move.
Get in the car now.
Yeah. Go.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper now. Do it now. Fuck's sake. Oh, my God.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yes.
Wow. Now this is crazy. Now we're going to have to do like some who has the best Arnold impression at Metal to the Max or something. Like there's going to just be a whole... Are we going to have to get every band that we interview at the tent to do an Arnold impression and then do a...
Each band's going to put in like a couple of words into one track, like one live song. That's going to be like...
We'll have to get like a super cut of all the
best Arnold quotes.
The Schwarzeneggerisms.
It's a Mad Max theme. So we'll put Arnold in there naturally.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, what's more post-apocalyptic than putting the Terminator in Mad Max?
Well, to be fair, if you're going to do the rendition of the Tom Hardy one, you're going to be getting a lot of.
Well, yeah, a lot of silence.
He didn't say much.
Yeah. Well, I think that was the whole point, wasn't it? Like, there's some theory that there's some, and I don't think it's true, but there's a fan theory that the Tom Hardy character is the kid from Mad Max 2, like grown up.
Oh, that's a mad theory.
Which is one of the reasons he doesn't talk much, because that kid barely talks, and he's.
Oh, I wonder if
he's like
Max.
Inspired by Max, and sort of grows up to try and be like him. That's a fan theory, I think. It's
Max Jr.
with an Austrian accent for some
I don't know
unknown reason. I know he found an old copy of the Terminator and Predator, and is just like, this is why he talks like that.
He
now.
learned to talk watching Commando.
Yeah, well, he could have got twins, and then that just would have been a real weird thing to be trying to mull over in your head and post-apocalyptic thing.
Oh, Jesus.
Kindergarten cop.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
That's going to be the only line everyone's going to say.
Yeah. So we've had a few bands that we've spoken to that have talked about preparing something special for Metal to the Max. Because it's, everyone's traveling such a long way, and it's such a, we're all feeling like it's a very special kind of event. You guys got anything? Have you guys got anything special in the chamber? Anything that you're working on to try and really lift the show to that extra level for the people?
Where can you go and lift when you're already on top?
Ooh.
We're going to go sideways?
Ooh.
Okay.
Just bravado is I've got nothing.
Okay.
But if I did have something, I'd keep it a surprise.
You keep it a surprise. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
see,
Yeah.
Now you. Oh, you can't. That's not.
Well, you got to tease us.
There's going to be a surprise time. There's going to be a surprise now.
Yeah. Make it a surprise.
I'm going quick. After we're done here, you and I are going to talk. We're going to figure something out.
Yeah. We'll leave the call on for you guys, and you can figure out what you're going.
Maybe like. This is like school. I'm going to be like doing my homework the night before.
Oh man, well, what? So we've got a drop bear. We've got a teddy bear head that'll be rolling around.
Yeah,
I think
we're going to have
there's
people.
a couple of bands that have been very secretive.
There's going to be some post-apocalyptic costumes rolling around the place. It's going to be good, gentlemen. I need to step out for a moment, gentlemen. But y'all, please continue.
Yep.
Yeah.
So in our first festival, our only festival we played was a local one. It was Shark Fest, which is obviously sharks. Tyler wore like his fucking kids. I think it was like a shark onesie.
Oh.
And our intro to coming on stage was like a metal Jaws. Last night, if you will.
The Jaws. That's because I was at the Jaws ride at Universal Studios like the week before we played.
Oh, that's mad.
So I had the Jaws hoodie.
You could have just mortified every parent standing in the crowd and started doing Baby Shark. I hear that. I hear that. I wish a great watch. Yeah, I wish a great white shark would come and take me when I hear that song.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Oh, but yeah, like
kind of have to lean into it at some point.
Have you heard how big the stage is?
I only recently heard that there was a stage.
Yeah.
I'm happy
you guys
for the stage.
Do you guys like getting a bit of a shuffle going and moving around on stage? Because supposedly it's a 9x9.
We're all wireless, so we run around.
Yeah, good. You got a 9x9 stage, they reckon? 9 meters.
I think our third gig, we got to loading, and there was a guy. He was building a stage as we got there. And this guy was cool. Like, no one should trust you with a drill, man. What the fuck are you doing building a stage? But it was literally getting built the day off, like 2 hours before. I was like, cool.
Wow.
I remember that. I remember that because I walked up one end of the stage halfway through the set, and the whole thing shifted. I felt one end of it lift up as I moved my weight on it. That was terrifying.
He's just going, it's just going to last a day. It's just going to last a day.
It's still there. We use it again like a month later.
Oh, wow.
It's not there anymore.
Oh no, it's not. No, foreclosure. They're shut. Yeah.
Far out.
9x9. What do I do with a 9x9 stage? That's a lot. Oh,
mate, that's the fun of it.
Stand awkwardly in the corner and kicking my beer over.
Mate, my suggestion would be bring super soakers with you because it's probably going to be hot out there. You could probably just cool the crowd down a bit.
Super soakers. Something. That's going to be rude as like beer or something. Right? Fill with beer.
Yeah, fill it with beer. You could, but it's all ages, so you don't want to hit a kid and get
it's
a kid.
It's a family event.
Oh, you could shoot. Look, could you just throw your IDs up in the air? All right, sweet, cool. Oh
no!
Yeah, yes. Oh man, the juices are flowing, man. It's just going to be such a good week. Are there any bands you guys are particularly excited for, or looking forward to in this massive lineup to see?
We spoke about it today, didn't we? It was Darker Half. I think you guys talked to them like last night or the night before. Been smashing a lot of Darker Half.
Yeah,
keen to see Darker Half and Headstone Villains.
Yeah, they've come up a couple of times.
Yeah.
We spoke to them, I think. Yeah, we did.
They're also Mildura boys. We've been watching them for 10 years at this point, but they're so good.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure to play with the boys from Firestorm too.
Yeah, they're gonna go nuts, man. I can't wait to see them. They're gonna go good.
Do, man. They're incredible.
Yeah.
And they're such nice guys too. Apart from Mash is a bit weird, but the rest of them are pretty nice though.
What musicians aren't weird? We all got something fucking wrong with us. We're all fucked in the head. We chose to play. Do you know how fucked in the head we are? And I'll say this at nauseum. We decided not only to get into music, and I'll say this about all Australian metalheads with the most love in the world, because what I'm saying here just proves how passionate we are about our art. We live in one of the lowest populations, in the Western world. We live in one of the most spread out countries in the world. Venues are closing and venues are fucking getting few and far between so quick. Yet every week bands show up to venues. 9 times out of 10, they're getting paid minimal cash. And you cannot wipe the smile off these people's faces, and they will do it week in, week out, and grind and pay their own money to get new music out to the people, to the limited fans, and it's just dedication.
Yeah, you do it because you love it.
Yep.
Like the money's not even a thing. I'm getting paid. Whatever.
You're absolutely completely irrational. If you're trying to think of a logical thing to do, starting a metal band in regional Australia and trying to put out music is just stupid.
And I'm complaining coming from Sydney, and we're in one of the most densely populated, and it's a struggle here. So I can only imagine how much more of a struggle. Because one thing that we always preach to any of the bands that come out here, or any of the bands that that I get to work with and stuff like that, is I will see bands plug away and absolutely decimate the Sydney scene to hell have no, it's just, they overdo it. And this is no offense to any, you do the grind the way you see fit. I have no issue with the way you do it. It's your band. You play the game the way you want to play it. All I can ever suggest to bands out there is, man, limit your show to one a month, once every 2 months in Sydney, and get out to the regions. Get further out there, because when you start conquering those areas, not only do you help the people that get to help those towns when people come out and come to see the new band that's coming from Sydney or whatever whatever major city that you're from, you make friends with those people, and then you give bands that you've played with from those towns opportunity to come out to those areas where you're from. It's all a fucking big working circle.
There's 30, I think there's like 30 bands on the bill, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's going to be there's 2 days of metal, drinking beers. It's going to be hot. And just talking to all these guys, you've got Officer Maggie, you've got Hidden Intent, Witch Rider, Dark Half, you've got these massive, huge bands. I'll be fucking talking to them all day. I'm going to tune their ear off. Trying to hook up shows, anything, some awesome bands on there.
It is a melting pot of, and we hate using the word. You know what I'm going to say? Networking. Networking.
You got to take the opportunities. It sucks, but you know.
No, what did we call it? We picked a different name for it.
I don't know.
I can't remember now. It'll come to me later.
But it is a great opportunity for bands from all across Australia to make connections with people, and you know, like some of the bands that are on the bill we're already familiar with. Some of the bands we've become familiar with through the course of interviewing, and you know, getting sort of in the run up to this. And some bands we are going to become familiar with over the course of the weekend. You know, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of bands coming out of it that we didn't get to interview prior to the show that afterwards we're going to want to interview because they're badass. You know, and what we are hyped for is the bands that we know already, the bands that we know are really, really good, and the people that don't know them. Because like we know how good some of these fucking bands are. That are coming to this thing, and we know that they're gonna absolutely shred face. That they're gonna people are just gonna be in. You know, there's this fucking idea that seems to have permeated when bands reach a certain level that they have to be too cool for school, right? Like they got to be. They can't enjoy watching the other bands that they're on the show with. They've got to stand at the back with their arms folded or catch a song and then go out to the smoking area and be out there. And, while I understand, I'm not expecting every member of every band to be to watch every other band's set and be enthusiastically moshing along and all that kind of shit. I do feel like there's bands that get to a certain level and then just stop giving a fuck about any of the other bands on the bill.
It's funny. That Shark Fest we played with Bellhaven. Bellhaven played there, and they're fucking they're pretty big. I was talking to the dude afterwards, like the same thing, and he's like, oh, like talking to him having a beer. He's like, oh, you were up on stage before. I said, yeah, man. He's like, oh, you guys were fucking awesome. I was like, I've been listening to these guys since I was like pretty young, and for him to say that good, I was like, sick, man. That's fucking
You fucking just melt. You just melt, mate. You just go, I can't believe you fucking took the time. Yep.
I was like, what?
That's it. And you love to see that. Yeah. Like it's such a cool thing. And this kind of environment is not real. I mean, you're going to be sort of forced to watch and listen to all the other bands over the course of the weekend. It's not really going to be anywhere to escape from them without leaving the site. But like there is going to be.
It seems unnatural not to though. I mean,
it does, but I'm not
look here like putting out music and playing in a band because I don't love metal and watching bands and that sort of thing. We're here because it's awesome.
But I think for some people it gets to a point
room with 3 other bands. Why would you not watch them?
Yeah, I mean, look,
metal's like pizza. Even if it's not great, it's still pretty good.
To answer my,
snap!
To answer my own question a little bit, right? I think for some people it can get, because I know I've felt a little bit of this. It really can get. It can become work. It can become a sense of work, and in all fairness, I have felt in the past going to gigs, even when I'm not playing them, going to gigs can feel like work because you're trying to network, because you're trying to, observe what's going on, make connections, talk to people, do that whole kind of thing. And not in a cynical way, but in a legitimate like, oh, okay, I was at this gig and I really enjoyed this band. I should probably go and talk to them and make a connection there. And, so I understand it can feel like work there, but taking steps to try and, I think if you can recognize that that's what's happening and you're getting into that mindset and taking steps to pull back from that approach, because I think a lot of people get into that sort of mindset and they can't overcome it. And then instead of feeling like, they're having to be professional about it, it starts feeling like work in the sense of it being a chore. And the instant it starts feeling like a chore, they don't want to do it anymore, which I get.
But sometimes it's a chore though. if you're recording a song, you've got to play it 100 times for it to be perfect when you go record it. It comes out good. If you half-ass it and come across on a recording day and try to record it, you haven't practiced it, it's going to sound like shit.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what I mean. Like there is work that has to go into it for sure. But I think there's work that feels like there's work that feels like you're being professional and approaching it in a mature way. And then there's work that feels like a chore.
Yeah.
And that, and I think a lot of that can come down to mindset as well. But once people are in that mindset, I find it's very hard to break them out of that mindset.
Yeah, 100%.
And even from my own perspective, like when I have found myself feeling that way about music I've been involved with, I was not able to break out of it. Like I ended up having to step back from, whatever I was doing, which like it's not a great situation to be in, but sometimes you have to, and it's not an easy choice, but sometimes it's a necessary one.
Yeah, well, it can be at the detriment of the 4 other people that you're working with.
Because they
should not have to suffer because you don't want to want to rock to the party.
Even when I've felt that way, I know that mindset can be cancerous in a band, and so I, when I've recognized that that's the place I was in, I'm like, well, shit, if I don't want to do it anymore, I don't want to ruin this for the rest of the people.
The second, yeah, it does. It spreads.
Yeah.
But again, there's a maturity that's required to understand that, because think about the amount of amazing bands that have gone down because of people falling into that mindset. I guarantee you that I would say probably a quarter of all the bands that break up, that sort of split and sort of fall apart, it's because someone got in that mindset, and it
that
poisoned the rest of it.
That ties in with what you were saying before. Like, rationally, you wouldn't do this. Rationally, you wouldn't spend 5 hours of your day minimum playing a show for 100 people at best to make a couple of $100.
Yeah, like all that
$100
because you love it. Once it becomes work, once that's a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for some people, it's a real mental game too. While the grind's going good and it's going hard, but once it's sort of you're making money and it does become a job, that's when the thing switches over in their brain and I don't want to do this anymore. It's work.
Yeah.
And look, that's understandable for some people, but what was the point in fucking doing it in the first place? What were you doing? What were you busting ass trying to fucking sell out those shows for? Oh, I've done that now. Don't do it no more. Which, look, hey, no, don't do that.
I will never. Sorry, go on.
It is a strange thing, actually. Before you said like we're all a bit fucked. Like, let's spend. Like, I'm going to go out and like I've got in my room. I've got about 12 guitars on the wall. And I've got helixes and software and fucking drums and stuff. Spent thousands and thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars on music gear to play shows, making a couple $100.
Yeah,
we are mad.
Yeah, yeah.
When we could just get a guitar, acoustic guitar, and play some couple of cowboy chords and sing some nice, and then put it on TikTok, and you'd probably be fine. You'd probably be famous tomorrow. No worries.
Yep. Acoustic duos are like acoustic solo and acoustic duo acts. Pubs and clubs love them because it's easy for them to be disappearing into the background, and people can engage with it as much or as little as they want. And they're usually playing all the popular songs that lots of people know, and it's easy, and they don't have to worry about swearing or, anything that's overly sexual or whatever. And, they can just go and do that. And that's not to try and take away from people that have that as part of their repertoire. You get that fucking bag. Go for it.
Yeah, fucking oath, man.
Go for it.
Yeah.
As long as that's just practice.
But you're
getting paid to practice.
But the point is, but as you say, the point is, like we're loading up, like you say, thousands of dollars worth of gear, and spending, an hour or more in some cases, even to a local gig, driving over like an hour or more to a local show, to spend hours and hours loading in and then sitting around and the whole hurry up and wait, get part of the game. And then when it's your time to do your thing, you got to hurry up and get it done right away. And then once, then you're up there for half an hour, 40 minutes of glory. And then you pack it all away again and try and flog a few shirts. And
the post-show depression, man, straight away. Because who's off the side? So,
yeah.
But you know what?
It's no wonder. It is no wonder that entertainers often fall to substance abuse, because I've not performed in front of massive crowds, right? Like I think the largest crowd I've ever performed in front of was maybe 1,000 people, and I had a mask on as part of a friend's other thing, so it wasn't even my own thing, right? And even that is like, the height, even when you get a few hundred people, or, even a good day with 10 people in the crowd, if they're really hyped and getting into it, that vibe, that emotional, that adrenaline rush that you get, there is nothing that compares to it. And it's so easy for, I can see why, and someone who does that day in, day out would become numb to it, just like anything else. And then what are you going to do when you get numb to it? You're going to chase that high elsewhere. And it is, it's upsetting that people, and you obviously combine that with the fact that, we're out there as musicians putting ourselves out there for other people. So we need that validation to come back from the people that are, that we're trying to entertain. And, I don't care. I don't care what people say. I don't care how loudly they say it. No one gets up on stage and performs only because they want to play the music. Everyone that gets up on stage and performs to some level, whether they want to admit it or not, needs that external validation from the audience. It sucks that that's the case. It really fucking does.
If you're playing to an audience that aren't moving, that aren't involving yourself.
Yeah. Like,
if you didn't need the validation, if you didn't need the show, you'd play it in your bedroom.
Yeah, exactly. Or you would be just happy playing for yourself and not ever putting anything out there. It sucks, and it's both the best and worst thing.
But you look at it as any artistic
endeavor.
Puts themselves out there. And that even like you even. I know it's going to piss probably a lot of people off, but content creation now is an art form. Like it takes time and effort to actually come up with the idea or blatantly steal someone else's idea and then attempt to make it your own, or however people do it, because it does happen. But and they're doing it for the same reason. They want the likes, they want the clicks, they want to be the next big thing.
So it's a rough game, and we're pretty crazy, especially in Australia. Doing such a niche genre over here. We
absolutely,
we wouldn't do it for anything but the love of it.
Mm-hmm.
We're not in it for the money.
Now we're attempting to all meet kind of in the middle.
Yeah,
not really. Like on the New South Wales border, we're all trying to go to the one spot.
Yeah. Hundreds of crazies all in the one place. What could go wrong?
Yeah, it's going to be excellent. It's just, look, even from the band standpoint, you know what I mean? It's just going to be great to see everyone geeking out and talking and just hearing everyone's ideas and thoughts and, just and then that on I don't know about you, Raff, but I'm really interested to see what shows happen after this.
Oh, yeah.
Like who's going to be teaming up with who and like who's going to be going to the whose city next. So, it's going to be really good.
It is. It's going to be good. So before we take it home, bit of a question that we've been attempting to answer on the podcast over the last couple of months. This is something we're going to be running all the way up until the end of the year, and then we'll put the results out at the end of the year. But obviously, being metalheads, you're likely very, very familiar with the big four of thrash metal. We are trying to garner some sort of consensus regarding the big four bands to come out of the nu metal era. Now, this is not to say it has to be nu metal bands or bands that would be considered as nu metal now. What we're looking for is bands to come out from that time period that would have been lumped under the nu metal banner at the time frame. So as an example, I know these days no one would probably consider Slipknot to be nu metal, but at the time that was sort of the consensus is that they fell under that banner.
If you're going to fucking stand there and tell me Iowa isn't a nu metal album, you're a fucking liar.
Oh, yeah, you guys.
You said big four of nu metal. The first thing I thought was Slipknot.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Mad.
I've got a battle leg.
Yeah, nice. A battle leg.
Most of it is nu metal. So
nice.
Yeah, good. All right.
Nice.
We're speaking to the right people. I'm pretty sure I saw a 12-foot ninja one.
Nu metal expert.
No, I've got him. I've got Deftones. I've got Slayer. I've got Metallica. I've got Linkin Park. My Chemical Romance, Blink-182, and Papa Roach.
Nice.
I have no complaints.
Nice, that's a good one. Okay, so from each of you gentlemen, we'll grab them individually. Who would you consider to be the big four of the nu metal era?
You want to go first or me to go first?
Whichever.
I want you to go first because I'm going to copy your homework.
Well, definitely Korn.
Agreed.
100% Korn.
Well, it doesn't really matter whether we agree. This is all just going in the consensus. So, like the numbers will determine everything.
Yeah.
So there are no right or wrong answers.
Slipknot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Linkin Park.
Yeah.
Linkin Park could be like my first out of my leg was the Chester Plains because I fucking grew up in Linkin Park. Love Linkin Park. Listen to them every day of my life. Love them. Some people say they aren't in the middle, but they are.
No, they are.
They were late. They were late to the party with nu metal. They were kind of later in the game, but definitely.
So far, you've got three of the four that I'm thinking of. So if your next one is who I think it's going to be, I've got no originality.
I've got two of my leagues are Deftones, man. Deftones are probably one of my hands down, probably my favourite band.
So Deftones is your fourth?
Yeah.
I agree with three of those.
What about you, Tyler?
I'm going to say Korn, Slipknot, Linkin Park, I agree. I was going to say Limp Bizkit as a fourth.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. The thing that we're finding is there's a few bands, there's especially two specific bands that are getting mentioned every single time.
Korn, Slipknot, surely.
Well, I don't want to spoil any of the results.
Yeah, we can't spoil it.
I don't want to spoil any of the results. It'll all come out at the end of the year, but the graph is very like that at the moment. It's like there's about 3 or 4 bands that are sort of way in front of everybody else, and there's lots of bands that are mentioned, 2 or 3 times. So yeah,
on real cut, one hasn't been mentioned. I thought would have been mentioned by now. No, I thought El Nino would have been mentioned by now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not surprised they haven't been mentioned.
No, they haven't been. Okay, they haven't been mentioned.
I would have remembered if they had been mentioned because, as far as I'm concerned, they are one of the. They were one of the real underrated.
They are.
Yeah, I mean, they almost came though more during like.
Probably the later part of it.
That mid 2000s like new wave of American heavy metal period. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, they were earlier than that, I'm pretty sure. Some of their old stuff.
Like, I mean, yeah, you look at some of these bands 99? And yes, they maybe started earlier. Like Lamb of God obviously started earlier than when they really kind of blew up. But they really, like bands like Lamb of God very much came to prominence in that new wave of American heavy metal period.
Il Nino Revolution was 2001. So yeah,
2001. There you go. I mean, it's, you know, and there's the thing, like everyone's people have got sort of different things. So, but that would put it in that new metal era. So there you go.
Yeah, I thought that would have been mentioned by now, but.
Hey, there you go. Maybe someone will mention it out at Metal to the Max. Who knows? Because we are going to be out there. We are going to be talking to people. We're going to be interviewing bands. We're going to be interviewing punters, grabbing footage of as much of the madness as we absolutely can. Because, hey, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're doing. It's going to be a lot of fun for everybody involved. As we said, if you haven't got your tickets yet, you are really cutting it fine, my friends. Get your tickets and get the hell out to Broken Hill right now. Because
hop in the car now, start driving, and buy your tickets online while you're heading up there.
We'll have someone else drive and you buy it on the. Yeah. You sit in the passenger seat and buy them on your phone. Don't be trying to do that shit on your phone while you're driving, especially on a double demerits weekend. Please drive carefully, everybody.
Yes.
So.
Of course, we're assuming that you can still get tickets at this point.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, it
might be too late. It might be a real Mad Max scenario. We might have to fight for tickets.
This episode is going out on Thursday the 3rd. So it is. If there is any tickets still available, don't waste your time with.
We're probably packing the car now.
We'll be when you're listening to this episode as it goes live, we will be in the midst of packing the car, loading everything up, and then probably having a nap because we are going to be leaving at like fucking midnight to drive out to Broken Hill.
Got to get over those mountains.
Long drive for you guys, eh?
13 hours.
Yeah. Well, I'm flying down from Brisbane on the Thursday, and then Kyle's going to grab me from the airport. We'll do a last minute gear check. Like I said, we'll probably try and have a nap, get a couple hours of shut eye, then get up, hit the road at probably midnight, 1 a.m., something like that. Try and get over the Blue Mountains before the sun starts to come up. Then I reckon if we can get to Dubbo by the time the sun's starting to peek over the horizon, that sunlight's coming over, we can chill in Dubbo for a couple of hours until the really bad ruse strike period is over. Then head out. We can find somewhere and have like a breakfast or whatever, chill out, maybe do some antiquing. and then from there, we'll, once the sun's started to come up a bit higher, we'll get back on the road and really start heading out to the middle of nowhere. So,
geez, that's a big drive.
It is. Thankfully, we'll switch it. We'll switch it every couple of hours. We'll be all right.
Yeah.
And then we're hoping to get out there, sort of mid-arvo, around about the time that the gates are opening on the compound. And, then we can start saying hello to people, get our stuff set up. You will not be able to miss us. There's going to be some great big banners outside of the tent. Say it's like 3 fucking meters wide with our faces up on it in that black and that really glaring orange color. Yeah. So you will not be able to miss us. So if you're going to be out there, everybody, please come by the tent and say hi.
Say hello.
Don't forget, we are running a competition for best campsite and best cosplay. So there's going to be some gift vouchers up for grabs on those. So if you've got a cool cosplay or a cool costume that you're going to be getting into in the vibe, in the theme, please come by the tent. We want to meet you. We want to get our photo taken with you. We want to grab your details to put into that competition. And as we mentioned, we'll be coming around to the different campsites, maybe doing a bit of an MTV Cribs style thing of all the cool setups everyone's got going on. And whatever campsite we think is the coolest, we'll get some gift vouchers there. So it's
it'll be good.
And please, people, bring deodorant. This is a metal show in the desert.
Yep.
Deodorant, bring lots of it.
Yes.
Yeah, pommy showers all around, people. It's an unpowered site. There won't be any showers.
That's it for me. I've got a caravan with a shower.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, mate, that's a money maker. You just got to get someone to come out, get 1,000 liter
cube,
1,000 liter
tank.
Bloody tank. Connect that up, and
I could sell
you could, mate.
Yeah.
You could.
I'm now. It's not going to smoke anymore. I'm comfort, man.
That's it. I mean, look, we're staying at a cabin off-site because we're going to have a lot of gear to worry about. So a lot of electronics and little
us talking to the bands about having a lot of gear.
Hey, no, look. To be fair, I reckon we are going to be carting a hell of as much, if not more, than some of these bands. I reckon.
Yeah.
between the cameras
Especially
and
digital people.
cameras and laptops and tables and everything we're bringing. So it's going to be, and the marquee and the banners and all of that, we're going to have a lot. So I'm not looking forward to setting that up.
Yeah. I'm sure us as well as the other bands will really appreciate you guys and what you do too.
Mate, we love it. Good. We love this shit.
Wait, look, we appreciate you guys doing what you do, because if y'all weren't doing it, we'd just be two dickheads going and setting up a marquee at the Mad Max compound, sitting around, with our thumb up our ass, going, "What the fuck do we do now?"
Have a real awkward kissing booth where no one would pay. Me and Raff could just kiss each other.
I don't. Sorry, mate.
Kissing booth and Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation.
Yeah.
Kiss me.
$2 to kiss. $2 to kiss us. $10 for us to not try and kiss you. There you go. All right. Well, thank you so much to Tyler and Dalton from Dark Orion. It's been great chatting with you guys. We cannot wait to see you out there in the dust. It's going to be an amazing weekend. Thank you very, very much. I have been Reverend Raff. This has been the Beer Buddy. Kyle, you guys have been amazing. And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.
Peace.
Thank you guys. Awesome.
Thank you very much for watching today's video. We really hope you had a good time with us. If you did, consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons down there, and ring that bell so you get notified of all the videos we've got coming out. And we do also have a Patreon. If you're interested, you can head on over there. You can get all the videos early and ad-free. A little bit of a benefit. It's only a couple of bucks a month. But if not, thank you very much for watching anyway, and we'll catch you guys next time.